Hey everyone, Chief Meteorologist Matt Hines here. We are tracking severe thunderstorms into central Texas this evening. Right now on the fringes of the area, but we do have a thunderstorm that's starting to develop over Waco as well. Not severe as of yet, but this is well out ahead in a very unstable environment. So we'll have to watch this one forming on the northwest side of Waco over the lake and then up toward the Elmont area. Nothing severe right now, but this could quickly strengthen, and we'll see how this happens here over the next few minutes. But it is starting to show some signs of intensification as it's working close to the I-35 corridor. So again, something to keep an eye on here, as this could go supercell pretty quickly over the city of Waco. Farther to the northwest, we do have thunderstorms here across western parts of Bosque County, far eastern parts of Hamilton County, Cranfills Gap, over toward Meridian. On along Highway 22, it looks like the hail core is going to be coming right through your neck of the woods, and that will probably get very close to Clifton as well as that continues to make its way off toward the southeast. So some very large hail up to tennis ball size will be possible with this thunderstorm as it continues to make its way to the southeast. That's where we do have meteorologist Josh Johns. He is in our 25 Storm Wrangler right now, and if we can go to his shot. Josh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Matt. We're coming down Highway 219 out of Cranfills Gap. I forgot the bridge is out between Cranfills Gap and Clifton, so trying to find an alternate way out of this. But you can see the rain coming. You've got the Wells Mouth that's overtaking us a little bit. There's some gusty winds already rolling into Cranfills Gap. The hail is not far behind, so we're heading south to get out of this, trying to reposition closer to Clifton or Crawford here as we try to head south of this storm, because it's a mean one. We took a jaunt on 22 for a bit, and you could just see how mean the clouds were. Didn't want to mess with that, so we came back and doubled back south.
Yeah, so we are seeing, this is definitely a supercell thunderstorm. Are you seeing any rotation or anything, or is it mainly stuck up in the mid-levels?
There was some broad elevated rotation. We were watching it on 219 north of Valley Mills, but nothing that was tight enough that made me concerned. However, the clouds are pretty low with it, so I mean it's going to be something to watch, as it may encounter some more wind down closer to Waco. It may be something to watch as we get into the evening.
All right, so that's meteorologist Josh Johns. He's on Highway 22. He'll be following that thunderstorm as it makes its way across southern parts of Bosque County and then eventually into McLennan County. So again, that'll be one to watch as it works its way off toward the southeast, up to tennis ball size hail possible. You were looking at the velocities there real quick, and let's go back to that, Caleb, and let's show people what kind of wind we could be experiencing, not just the large hail threat.
Right, we do have some strong winds jumping out at us here on the colors. You can see how bright they are. I'm going to jump to something that probably handles the straight line winds a little bit better. It'd be this product you see here. So definitely the pinks stand out. So all along basically that leading edge of the storm and back into the core of the storm, coming up on 22 into Cranfills Gap and back toward Meridian. As I pace it back and forth in time here, you can see that, yeah, not only carries a hail threat, but we've got some strong winds in here too. Just a cursory look would suggest somewhere in the range of maybe the 55 to 60 miles per hour, depending on where you're looking. So Highway 22, that's where it's butting up against right now. And in addition to that, Matt, of course, we have the hail potential here. Hail tracker is certainly impressive with this. Just from our glance, this could have the potential for some baseballs and billiard ball size hail, which is no joke. So want to make sure that people are away from windows as this one comes in.
Yeah, if you're in Cranfills Gap, get away from north-facing windows. The wind will start to blow out of the north, and it could be wind-blown hail coming through this as well. Baseball-size hail, folks, that's nothing to sneeze at. That is destructive hail, and it will continue to make its way across far western parts of Bosque County and extreme eastern parts of Hamilton County. So if you live down west of Clifton, west of Valley Mills, you're probably going to want to really watch this one closely. This could be a destructive hailstorm making its way off to the southeast. And this is what we were really concerned about today, is the potential for destructive hail with some of these thunderstorms. Let's go to our tornado warned storm. And that one is for far southwestern parts of San Saba County. Now, it looks like the main circulation with this is probably maybe just clip here on Highway 71. Literally a mile into our viewing area. But I think that's going to be about the extent of this one as it works its way off toward the southeast. So again, it is going to just clip literally about 10 square miles here of our far western county of San Saba. Folks in San Saba, this will not impact you. Folks in Richland Springs, folks in Cherokee even, this will likely stay to your west and then move down toward the southeast, right along Highway 71. So this will become a Llano County problem here pretty soon. So again, we've had those greens and those reds butting up together. Looks like it's weakened just a little bit, but still wanted to touch a tornado warning far southwestern parts of San Saba County. But we have a severe thunderstorm warning for the rest here, and that's where we could see some large hail with this, and that could be in the order of baseball, tennis ball size hail as well. So we will continue to track that as it works its way off to the southeast. Looks like it's kind of come down with the hail aspect, at least briefly, but it will likely pulse back up once again. So probably in the quarter to golf ball size range now, but the potential for tennis ball size hail will exist with this thunderstorm as it continues down Highway 71. And again, just outside of our area. So that's why we're not going continuous over the air with that. Let's head back toward the east. Let's look at the Waco storm once again. And you can see that we do have this one here. We'll go to our radar here, and you can see starting to develop on the north side of Waco. Again, nothing severe at this point, but it is definitely in an environment where it could rapidly intensify. We are starting to see a few lightning strikes with it now, and again, it's not really moving that much the way it looks right now. So just kind of developing right over the city. And if this develops really quickly, there's a lot of energy here. We have a ton of energy. You can just go outside and feel it. Well, that could have the potential to start producing some hail. So again, we'll have to watch this one right over the city of Waco, and then back to the one to the northwest. That one will be one to watch as well. Also the one moving north of Hillsboro. That is definitely taking on a shape here, a supercell thunderstorm, but we don't have a lot of low-level rotation with these, especially up to the north. They're very close or just behind the boundary here, so hopefully that will keep them from going tornadic, at least for the time being. As they move farther to the southeast, if they can catch up to the boundary or get just ahead, that's when our tornado potential could start to ramp up just a bit. But strong winds just northwest of Hillsboro right now. Those will continue to blow into town off 171 as it moves from northwest to southeast across northeastern parts of Hill County. So again, from Hillsboro to the Ellis County line, that's where you're likely going to see that, and then up toward Itasca as well. Some very strong winds, probably some pretty good hail with this one as well, and could be up to tennis ball size back west of Itasca. That says billiard ball right there. So again, we are looking at that potential for very large hail in this thunderstorm. That could get close to the Hillsboro area as it makes its way off toward the southeast. So again, it's heading toward you folks in Mayfield, and we'll continue down 171 from there. So anywhere between there and getting close to the 35 split north of Hillsboro, we can have some pretty large hail moving your way. So that is going to be 35 west and east near Carl's Corner as that makes its way off toward the southeast. So from Mayfield, Carl's Corner down to Hillsboro, definitely watch out for this thunderstorm. Back into Bosque County once again. We do have that thunderstorm here, and again, very large hail possible with this thunderstorm. It does have the hook associated with it as well, but as of right now, not seeing the low-level rotation with this. But of course, we are under a tornado watch. Not a lot of wind feeding up into this thing, but with the unstable part of our environment, it is so unstable outside. Sometimes these can modify their own environment as they make their way off toward the southeast. And again, it looks like very strong winds going through Cranfill's Gap right now, probably 60 plus miles per hour. And again, you could have some very large hail associated with this as well. That could be up to tennis ball size, maybe even slightly larger than that. Right now in Cranfill's Gap on Highway 22, it looks like that will continue to work its way off to the southeast. So if you live anywhere from Highway 6 west in Bosque County, northern parts of Coryell County near Turnersville, that is likely going to be a destructive hailstorm that will continue to work its way off toward the southeast. So Caleb, do we have anything new from the Weather Service?
No updates about any warnings downstream. We do have some reports to pass along. Thankfully, we haven't seen anything that is fully realizing the potential of these storms, at least from a spotter standpoint. We had half-dollar size hail in Hyco at, what timestamp was that? 5:08. So that was, again, this was actually a little bit ago. This storm, of course, is no longer in Hyco, but half-dollar size hail there. And since then, haven't heard a whole lot of reports out of this storm. Of course, it's in a rural area, but at least from what we're seeing, it would suggest some major hail possible in this. So let's not just assume that we're just talking about half dollars and ping pong. It could be definitely larger, up to that tennis ball size that we were talking about, which is
And remember,
hail
hail cores, they can be You can start off with baseball-sized hail in about a half-mile area, and then just outside of that area, you have $0.50, and then outside of that, you have pea. So, I mean, they can be very localized, the hail cores with this. But again, radar and everything's indicative of saying we could have some pretty large hail across our area. So as this moves from Bosque County into northern parts of Coryell, I do think it will make its way into western parts of McLennan County as well. So if you live along 317 from Crawford to McGregor, you need to be ready for this thunderstorm, as it will have the potential to produce some pretty strong winds and also some sizable hail as it continues off toward the southeast. So we'll put the tracker on there for you. Clifton about 545, and especially west of town there. Turnersville at 553, and then as you head over toward Valley Mills at 614, and then OC about 626 or so. But again, western parts of McLennan County, you're not under warning yet, but get ready for one as that continues to make its way off toward the southeast. I know we still have meteorologist Josh Johns on that thunderstorm. Shots down right now. Okay, well, we will wait for that to come back up again. But again, he's trying to get out ahead of this thunderstorm on Highway 6. We have the thunderstorms trying to develop over the city of Waco. These aren't severe as of right now. Hopefully they will not become severe, but some locally heavy rain, and it's just sitting in one spot. So we may have to watch the potential of some localized street flooding with this, especially on the north side of Waco from Lacey, Lakeview, Elmont, back toward the lake, as the lake's already 20 feet above normal. And this is going to sit and drop more water into the lake and just around it as well. So again, some flash flooding concerns will be possible here. Starting to see a couple lightning strikes with this as well as it makes its way, again, pretty much stationary across McLennan County. More thunderstorms developing to the east as well, so that can bring some locally heavy rain with that. And going over into Limestone and Freestone. Again, nothing severe as of right now, but more thunderstorms starting to develop there. Some locally heavy rain will be possible with those storms as they work their way slowly off toward the east-southeast. But right now, it's just kind of sitting on the north side of the city of Waco. That means the potential for flash flooding will start to increase, especially as we get this guy in here later on. I would anticipate a new warning is going to be coming for southern Bosque, probably into western McLennan and eastern parts of Coryell. So if you live between Gatesville and Waco to the northwest, north of Highway 84, this is going to be impacting you next as it works its way across the western part of the county.
And we were saying also, Matt, how anticipation of an extension of the watch would likely be coming. That is what the National Weather Service is coordinating right now. The tornado potential with time is going to wane, so the new watch is going to be a severe thunderstorm watch. But let's get to this new warning first. Severe thunderstorm warning that just came out for parts of Bosque County, the northwest clip of McLennan County, and northern Coryell County. This is fresh off the press. This is going to run until 6:45. They're tagging it with potential for some ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it's in that yellow box that you see on your screen.
All right, so a big hail producer. And again, that does include now northwestern parts of McLennan County, west of the Brazos River, and west and pretty much along Highway 6 and then to the west of there. So some sizable hail will be possible. Right now, they're saying golf ball size hail, but they could increase at any moment. We have a very unstable environment right over our area, and that's why we will be watching this one very closely as it makes its way into McLennan County. Northern parts of Coryell County moving in right now around Turnersville, Gatesville. You're also in the polygon. This may try to develop farther back to the west, so we will watch that for you. Some strong winds, 60+ miles per hour, also possible with this thunderstorm. So you couple that with some large hail, you can get wind-blown hail, so stay away from the northern parts. So notice that we are getting golf ball, maybe up to lime size. That's saying 2 inches in diameter, so that's golf ball to lime size hail. That's pretty sizable hail. It has come down from the baseballs that we saw earlier, but still, these things pulse. It may pulse up once again, moving into a very unstable environment here. Lots of lightning associated with this one as well as it continues. Again, Clifton starting to see that. Looks like that hail core is going to be just coming down Highway 6, just north of Clifton, and then back toward Cranfill's Gap, and then down toward the Valley Mills area. And then Turnersville, you'll likely be seeing that as well. maybe getting as close as you folks in Gatesville and then down toward the Crawford area. So we'll be watching that very closely as it works its way to the southeast.
Let's go ahead and put a new storm track on that. Motion is still at about 30 miles per hour. This isn't going to change too much from the one I drew earlier, but let's just get some new times on here. And again, motion to the southeast at about 30. So Turnersville at 5:56, Moshheim at 6:02. Valley Mills 6:05, and then China Spring at 6:19. And National Weather Service is saying that they are thinking that tennis ball size hail is falling between Itasca and Hillsborough. That's the Hill County storm. So that's not confirmed, but in their view, they've got what they believe to be tennis ball size hail falling up there. Let's jump up there real quick and see what we've got going on. Again, this is the Hill County storm. And I'd say really anywhere from the 35 West corridor into Itasca and back to Mayfield could certainly be experiencing some large hail with core right there, pretty much approaching the interstate at this time. And it could, like they said, be in that range of, let's get the actual size here. So we're indicating hen egg, but it could be a little bit larger than that as a severe thunderstorm warning continues for Hill County as well.
So again, that could produce up to tennis ball size hail up there. I would say tennis ball to baseball is going to be likely. We may even have a couple of softballs before things are said and done with these thunderstorms. Hopefully it will not be at your location, but that's why we're tracking them for you. This one in Hill County is making its way to the southeast, so it's probably going to be just to the northeast of Hillsborough. The one in Bosque County, that's moving southeast. So folks in Clifton, down to Valley Mills, over toward Turnersville, west of Highway 6. Looks like that's where the main core is going to go, right on the along and west of Highway 6. Just rain, probably some pea-sized hail as you head farther to the east and northeast of Clifton. Meridian, you're likely into the thunderstorm right now. We'll continue to watch that very closely as it works its way off toward the southeast. So again, folks in the Clifton area, it looks like the hail, especially on the west side of town, and then as you head back toward the county line, that's where the most significant hail is going to be. But it's going to be moving into northern parts of Coryell, western parts of McLennan, southeastern parts of Bosque County. So we are going to be continuing to track this down toward the southeast. The one over Waco continues to intensify. And we do have other thunderstorms near Riesel and Mart as well. But this one's the strongest one just on the northwest side of town. And again, that one's not moving. So wouldn't be surprised to start maybe getting some small hail out of this, and the potential for a little thunder and lightning to go along with it as well. And some very heavy rain here across Lakeshore Drive up toward Elmont. So again, very heavy rain will be possible here, right over the lake as well. And that's where we do have quite a bit of flooding already occurring. So the last thing we need is this just to sit here right over the lake and dump more water into it, because we're 20 feet above the flood pool right now. And this, of course, will just exacerbate any flooding problem in and around the lake, with already several roads closed and the lake causing a lot of those parks in the lake area to also be closed. So again, we have two supercell thunderstorms right here, one in northern parts of Hill County, one in western parts of Bosque County. That will continue down toward the southeast. And again, developing thunderstorms right over the city of Waco. So that one's going to have to be watched pretty closely. Do we have our eagle eyes? Can we look at those?
I bet they can.
Our Syntex Roof Systems cams?
Which I can. Which one, Matt, would you like to do first?
Look at Waco. Let's see if we can see any bases with these.
All right. I'm going to attempt to pull that up. We've got our studio camera here.
There we go. So, okay, what you're looking at right now, that is New Road right here. And that is Bagby. So that's the corner of New Road and Bagby. You can see off to the northwest. You can see the base of the thunderstorm right here. I'd say that would be probably where the main updraft is, right in here. So that will have to be watched. And again, you can see all the precipitation falling out of the thunderstorm here on the left-hand side as it works its way off toward the east. So again, a very slow mover. Lots of heavy rain, lots of lightning going to be indicated with this as well. Main updraft looks to be right here on the west side of the city. Don't see any lowerings with it. That's good news. But this is in its infancy right now. It will continue to strengthen. There's really probably no way it's not going to strengthen unless just something weird happens in the atmosphere, just because we have so much energy right here. So again, when you have a developing thunderstorm right on top of you, that's one you got to keep a close eye on, because that can go very quickly. Right now, just a heavy rain threat, maybe some small hail, but it could become bigger than that. So if you live in and around the city of Waco, make sure we're watching that one pretty closely as well. This one may get us to the northwest as well. And then we do have the tornado warm storm. Let's just focus in on that for a second, just to let people know in San Saba, that is not producing a tornado close to you.
That's right. I mean, you can see where the circulation is going. It's pretty much exiting San Saba County at this time. That's going to be a new tornado warning for Llano County, which is not part of our responsibility. It does look like there could be some hail impacting some communities there along 71. In terms of the warning in San Saba County that we serve, it's extremely rural. There's like a couple ranches there along 71, and that would be about it. So those locations could be getting some hail and certainly some heavy wind, but the rotating part of the storm is largely missing that. And is going to be an issue for Llano County with time. Also, some reports to pass along. So the Bosque County storm, we've got some confirmation of golf ball size hail in Cranfill's Gap. And then if you were to jog north to the Hill County storm near Itasca, tennis ball size hail near that community a short time ago.
All right, I think we do have Josh Johns. He's in our 25 Storm Wrangler. And now probably heading southeast of Cransville's Gap. Josh, can you hear us? All right, pretty rural out there. So again, they're trying to get in front of that thunderstorm as it makes its way across Bosque County. So in rural sections of Bosque County right there. So we'll continue to keep track of that. Hannah, let me know if you can hear his audio once again. And we do have, again, that severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Tennis ball size hail north of Hillsboro. This will be crossing the split here. 35 west first, then going to 35 east as you head toward Carl's Corner. And likely just to the southeast of Italy, and then Mertens, this will be heading your way as well. Nothing that is tornadic. I know it has the shape of a supercell, and usually when we start to see this shape, we see the hook, we start talking about tornadoes. Right now, the tornado threat isn't there, but it does look like the big hail threat is there, and that's what we were most concerned about anyway for today, as it looks like it's now just in between 35 west and 35 east there. And looks like it took a little turn on us as well. It was moving due southeast, now moving more east-southeast as it heads toward Highway 77 and 35E. So Hillsboro, probably some strong winds right now associated on the base of that thunderstorm, but it looks like the main hail core is probably going to stay just to your north and be right across the split there again, 35 west, 35 east. Carl's Corner, you are next up with this as it continues to work its way off toward the southeast. Then again, back toward the Bosque County storm, we do have that thunderstorm producing at least golf ball size hail, could be slightly larger than that, especially along and west of Highway 6. So from Clifton to Valley Mills, back to the county lines here of Hamilton and down into Coryell. That's where we're likely going to see the largest hail with this. Again, that would be indicative of golf ball size hail as it works its way off toward the southeast and into the Turnersville area. Looks like we do have a little hail spike near Waco now as well. And it looks like it's very small, but right around downtown, just north of downtown. Looks like that the hail core may be trying to go up here just a little bit. So at least some pea-sized hail, you may start to hear a little tinging here and there across the northern parts of Waco and up toward the Lacey Lakeview area. And again, that thunderstorm just doesn't want to move that much as it works its way right there across northern parts and central parts of McLennan County, right over the city. Again, very heavy rain, Lakeshore Drive, just north of downtown. I think that heavy rain potential is going to continue, and it now stretches all the way back toward Highway 6 on the west side of the lake. So definitely looking like a storm that may not become severe quickly, but will have the potential to continue to intensify and produce a tremendous amount of rain. There's so much humidity in the atmosphere. This is likely very heavy rainfall that is falling here. So again, it's very localized, but it doesn't take much, especially when you've already seen a lot of rain here. So we'll watch that one. And then again, our supercell thunderstorm continuing to dive out of Bosque County and into parts of Coryell County as well. What we're going to do, we're about to get into our 6 o'clock newscast. We're going to end this live. We will get right back on with our 25 news at 6 o'clock coming right up.